morning I've got Joel continuing back on connecting up some plumbing and underneath the sink here. Our large drain pipe, he's putting an elbow and a reducer on it underneath there right now. And he's getting the P-trap installed. And I had this little small faucet that was on here and I just didn't like it. It was so close underneath the corner of the sink. I got a different sink I want to use this on. So yesterday at City Hardware, I picked up this large faucet right here. Like I say, this CR here, this outdoor restroom, is not just a restroom. It's also like a little outdoor laundry room as well. So I wanted things where if you had a washing machine over here going, maybe you wanted to soak a few items, rinse, squeeze them out, maybe lay it over here to the side. You can, and you can still use it as a bathroom sink at the same time. This is that little cabinet. You see it's got the little screen doors on it. Stainless steel sink. You just buy this as a kit. Put it together, it goes together really quick. And I thought that's great. So I have a wet room where water's gonna be splashing and the soft air of the beach. So got that. And over here, I bought a really short little valve to stick out. The reason for this is the Philippines. It's very custom that you might put a tub or something with water in your restroom. We got the water off at the moment. For what they call that tubo, using the scoop instead of the shower head for a shower or to flush the toilet. If we ever have a problem, water issue or something, we can always bring a bucket in as well. But just common to have these in a Philippine restroom, maybe in other places in Southeast Asia as well. And of course we got our valve here for the shower. And to give you a for instance of what salt can do, this is just now ever even being used, and this is new, but it's been sitting out here in the CR, and as you see, the salt is already corroding the finish on it, even on the handle. Actually, plastic is your friend by the beach. I'm going to tell you, that cheap plastic stuff is your friend by the beach. No joke, without a doubt. Then of course, offset over from that, I've got a shower head up here. It's a little rain style. And I've got this floor drain here. Excuse the dirt, we've been walking in and out here doing work. I want to show you about these floor drains. I want to show you something on them. So this drain, it wasn't working very well. Water was going down slow and all. And I want to explain to you why. This is a part that I removed out of there. Get over here in the light and you can see it better. And what this is, I put P-traps in, okay? That's got a P-trap underneath it. That has a P-trap underneath it. There's a second one right there. And I don't know, I'm gonna speak of the Philippines, but maybe this is true throughout Southeast Asia. I don't know. So I can't speak broadly on this term, but I can speak here in the Philippines. P-traps are so uncommon to be used. So what they're using here is a little valve on the bottom that's weighted here on one side, see, with the weights and this, and when water builds up on it, it's supposed to open. Man, it takes a lot of water for this to open, and it's a place where junk collects up on top of it and goos up, and this thing will kind of stick. So I went in, you can just remove this, and I had no need for it. This was their remedy for P-trap right here. You know, it closes back, holds back some of the gas, bugs and stuff can't crawl back up and all that. It's no good, and it was really slowing it down. So you can just lift this out. I'm probably just going to remove that pin right there and remove the weights and the flap and put the little strainer back in here. See if I can get a hold of this, and you see there it is. And down the side there's water because it has an actual P-trap inside of it, and that's what you really want. The water stops the gases. So I'll end up going in, knocking this pin out, probably do it today, put the strainer back in, put the cover back on. But as soon as I removed this nonsense that was just staying closed, the problem stopped. I picked up this little valve right here for this washing machine. The hoses here in the Philippines, let me see if I don't knock a bunch of tools down. A lot of times they just go on and clamp on right here. You have to, see here, see that? That's the way they're made here. See? A lot like those little portable dishwashing machines that you can roll up and hook up to your kitchen sink. A lot of the same way. So you don't have a hot and cold water line like you do maybe in the West as well. It's just going to be a cold water wash and one line, and that's it. Then most of your washing machines are just going to have a standard 220 plug. Yes, in the Philippines this is 220. This is not North American 110. And you see they don't have a ground. Kind of crazy dealing with water, right, with no ground. But they have a grounding wire that's separate right here that you can, run out and put a ground rod in or something. So you can always have your ground wire in your wall and have an outlet. You can always run this up together on the cord and tape it together and put it in there and change your end if you needed to. Have that, or they make an adapter. I used to see them when I was a kid growing up in the US. You slide on here. It has these two, and then it has a leg sticking up that you can attach the ground on as well. So you can find those options if your house has a ground wire in it. From our old house over there still, I have this breaker that was being used before for some lights up on the roof deck. You see, like it says rooftop outlet and all for lights. I'm going to be putting that in up here on the wall over this box, and that's where the electrical is going to come in for this little outdoor CR. I'll have one breaker right there, and that should cover that.
Super hot.
It is super hot. First Miller was just going to cut this tree off at the ground. I said, nah, let's dig out and get down there and find these roots, because this stuff in the Philippines is tough now. It'll just grow right back out again. And get down there and kill it at the roots. The reason we had to remove it, if it grows, the roots will bust the side of this fish pond. It's just some random tree that just sprouted up here a couple years ago after we bought this place. Here, get that orchid off of there. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's out of there. Joelle and I, we've been mining parts from the old house and putting up in here. The old medicine cabinet. It's got an LED light. Little shelf here. Everything needs a bath. Little shelf there for shampoo and a little towel. Over here, towel rack. All this stuff out of the old place over there. So it helps save a little money. It's money we already spent in the past. And I've got this little shelf here, this corner shelf. It's going to go right up there as well. We've got another one of those there too. I've been in here connecting up electrical. I put in a little breaker switch. This is something, again, I already had. I put in some outlets. You do see some of these outlets here. There's so many different styles you can buy here in the Philippines that'll combine European and the typical Philippine style, or North American, all together into one outlet. And that's what this is. You got the round and you got the flat, both. These have little doors that slip in there that close it, keep things from going in. This is the style that's shorted out without those little doors, over in the house. But man, these little doors right here stick, and it can be super hard to plug something in there sometimes. A pain. So I'm finishing up in here on some electrical here in the CR. I don't have everything that I need at the moment, but I've got a good part of it. These little switches here, they have a LED that shine at night. They're on them so you can see right there where those are. I have the power off at the moment, but that way you can see the light switch. And there it is. I do not have the lights in up here yet. I've got different lights laying here from the old house, some LEDs. I'm trying to see which ones I can rob. There are so many over there in our old house that I can rob and clean up and use out here and repurpose. So I'm just seeing which ones fit the best out here for this particular situation. I actually have a plan. I've got 3 or 4 of these. I have a plan for these, so I don't really want to use it. I'll probably use these and just clean them up or repaint that little flange. And these will work right here. These are the particular light switches that I'm using right here, called this Y series. There you go. Here's your little spec information there on them. Well, it's mid-afternoon. We have been going at it all day. I'm just drenched in sweat again. Everybody is. Miller, Joel, not just the fat guy sweating. Yeah, not just the fat guy, even the little skinny guys, they're sweating too. We've been working in that CR out there, and it's like a steam hot box. Of course, it has no shade and just those walls. We haven't got around to building the structure over it yet, but I've been in there wiring that thing up. I don't have all the light fixtures up in there. I've got some LEDs for it, and I want this guy Bonbon up the road here to make these decorative little round plates. I don't know what you call them, like medallions or whatever you want to call them. I don't know. I'm not a person that tries to keep up with this term. I know what I'm wanting though. And so it'll be like a circle, or I can make it like a hexagon or something like that, you know, and little routed edges on it, and decorate it up a little bit, paint it, and in the middle the LED light will snap into it, and it'll give a little decoration on the ceiling, and at the same time over those boxes it'll give a place for that light fixture to go into. And I plan on having many of those made, just to tell you the truth. So I'm going to visit with Bonbon. I'm going to take him an example of a light for the holes in there, how I want it, and get those made. And I need those in my garage. I need those throughout all the structure. So I'll come up with a nice design and keep it fluid throughout the whole property, and I think it'll look pretty good. I'm gonna cool off a minute. I just had me a big old glass of cold water, but I'm gonna follow it up with something I hadn't had in a while, and that's a good cold Corona, because I am just hot and tired. It is a miserably hot day here. I've had these sitting here and I hadn't had one in maybe 2 months or longer. I put them in the refrigerator yesterday. Man. That is so good. For Corona, the colder it is, the better it is, boy. Alright, well, I'm gonna go over here and flip on the main breaker and the little outdoor CR for my future beach going guest, and see if everything works or not. So I got Miller going grabbing a corded drill. I can plug in these outlets and test everything. So let's see what happens here. He's got this drill here. A grinder, that'll work, grinder. All right, let's see if it blows up. Okay, nothing blew up. That's a good sign. So I got temporary light hanging up there. Yeah, go ahead. Yep. Try that one. Those are hard to get in because they got those little covers inside. And right there, you see what I was telling on video earlier? It can be so hard for these particular ones with those covers.
Because this is a new bro.
They're kind of like a child-proof, but they keep the little geckos out too. But it can be a real pain putting the plug in sometimes. Let me try. I had to wiggle it like crazy to get in there just then. Let's see if it's hot. Hot or not. Okay, there you go. So we can clean up in here now, and we can clean up and organize here, and then bring the new washing machine here and connect it.
Okay.
So we're back in here into the CR now. Joel and I, we kind of been working side by side all day. And here's this little template I told you is going to make up to put on the wall while they do that rendering of the cement on this hollow block over here. Because we need these pipes set just right for this. We need them just right. So I told him instead of just sticking this up there, I need to go ahead and cut those and get these fittings welded on. So he's getting me some power in here. I'm gonna get this iron heated up and go ahead and get these things set up. Whew, hot day, hot day. Let me show you what else I've had going on. Hey Joy, would you plug that up right there, please, sir? So over here, I've had these people, June and Nardo, I've had them in here working on the cistern. They put this morning first thing, they cleaned it real good yesterday. Let me back up. So yesterday they cleaned this real good inside and they got all the moisture they could out of it. And then they swept it up good, got it all prepped, and then this morning there was just a little bit of moisture left in two little spots in the bottom. They got in there and dried that up with some cloth, let it set a little bit, it evaporated, and they swept it down real good again. Got it really, really clean, went around and chiseled any loose cement. June did a bunch of that. And then they got in there and they put the neutralizer, let it set, did some other work for a while, and then I have them to come back and start putting this coating in here. And up here on top, more steel's going up. They've done 1, 2, 3 columns building it higher today. You see there's Uncle Malong's back, by the way. And there he is over working right now. It's his second day back at work. And now Mok-Mok's missing. But we know why. Mok-Mok had to go to the doctor. And we sent him this morning to help him out. So Mok-Mok had a place come up on his leg and up near his calf. And what I think he did was stab a piece of this tie wire where they tied on the stirrups and all, making it still like there are those columns right now. I think he stabbed it into his leg and it's tried to take infection. And he got where it was really hard for him to walk. So he had took amoxicillin on his own and tried to do some home treatment. But we really encouraged that he go on to a doctor, and he agreed. So he come here this morning and I gave him money to go to a doctor. And you know, that's those things that you can't have a piece of safety gear over your whole entire body. And where that stabbed, it wasn't a matter about shoes or flip-flops or nothing. He wears jeans, he don't really work in shorts. It'd be rare if he did. You just can't protect every little piece of your flesh. And so he got a piece of tie wire, stabbed him, and it started trying to take infection. So I think when he went to the clinic today, they said there was a pretty good infection in there, and they used some type of needle and went around and hit around in there. I don't know what they injected, I don't know, but I do know they gave him some injections, including right there on side of the wound. So I'm sure he'll probably recover back pretty fast now. Anyway, keep him in your thoughts and prayers. So he's my partner. That's kind of why I'm not up there casting walls too and doing this other stuff. He best gets what I want. I'm most comfortable working with him. And we're really a good little team together, him and I. And so I like for him to be the one up there. He best understands the way I want these forms. He's the newest one at it too. That's funny. Everybody here worked at them before, but nobody gets it as good as he does. So I look forward to him being back. Well, I see this little baby's hot. You want to touch it and test it for me, Joel? Huh? It won't hurt you, just a little bit. Alright, so I just got those two fittings welded on there.
And if you cover this boss, you want to hit this and for the thread.
Now do what now?
Cover on this and the thread, make a thread so you not the cement not.
Oh, well, yes. we can take those 1/2-inch PVC
Yes.
nipples.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have some, those red ones, the ones we're using on the conduit. Those orange, or those blue ones. We can even screw those in there. Yeah, yeah.
One up.
Those right there, those should screw in there. Try it and see. I bet they will. He's trying to keep so they don't get cement in the threads.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go, right there.
Put some on there. But I one plumber.
Well, you could put your piece of tie wire around these here
Yes,
right now and
yes.
tighten it, and that'll keep
And
them
not
pulled.
be not pulled, yes.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
so then we'll get this over here. Make sure it's level. It's looking pretty good there too. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Here goes the mud daubing. That's what I call it, mud daubing. Yeah, the mud daubing. Slapping this mess up there. This is where you run into a whole bunch of bags of cement right here. A Portland, because that is a real heavy Portland and sand mix. And so you can use a bunch of bags of cement quick rendering these walls. This is where I really win on this again. Because when you cast this cream rises out to the outside edge and you end up with a nice flat finish naturally. So you see this and tying their little nylon strings up there and trying to float it and keep it straight. I really hope that you all see what a mess this is in comparison. I really, really hope you do. I hope that if any of you Filipinos out there in this country or in other countries like it, anybody out there can take a lesson, that you can build with the same money, same materials, actually less materials. You don't have to buy hollow block. The same steel, the same concrete, the same aggregate, the same sand, the same Portland that it takes to make all of that mesh right there can make this right here. And this is finish ready right now. Break time's over and the mud dauber's back. So it's slowly coming together. I just got the old washing machine moved out, cleaned up in here a little bit, and I got the new washing machine moved in. Yeah, pretty cool little machine right here. We bought it over at All Home at Vista Mall. Bought it from them over there. We had looked at machines at about 6 or 7 different places, and Melinda really wanted one that had large kilo where she could put comforter or something in there if she wanted to. A lot of the machines were like 7 kilo, 8 kilo. You know, you might see a 10. This was a 12 kilo, and that's what she wanted. So we got lucky because each time we had went there, the price had been way higher. And lo and behold, the day that I told her, okay, let's go buy the machine, they were actually having a sale, and the price was dropped down pretty significant. So it was perfect timing, perfect timing. See in here, it's got stainless steel tub. Got your little detergent spot right here and your softener spot. So there it is. So Melinda doesn't know that I've about got it ready. Joel is over there getting the drain pipe ready for me here. Well, just like that, I'm back to bachelor living again. Now she's gonna tell me I can go in here and load the machine and do my own darn laundry. That's all right. I'm not saying she said that, I'm joking. But I'm okay with that though, because I lived alone for many years and I did my laundry myself for many years. So she told me that, no problem. She asked me to help do laundry, no problem. Not a problem at all. But I'm trying to test it out first go around. We actually got some detergent from the US. I don't know if Melinda stuck this in a ballot buying box or what, or if we bought that at S&R. I just don't remember. But it's leaking. It got a hole punched in on the bottom. Might have been in a box. I don't know why she would send detergent, but she may have. Get this tape off of this. I know this is not the typical Filipino way. They will leave every sticker on everything. I can't get all those off till I raise the lid again, and it's locked right now. They'll leave every sticker on everything, TV, stereo, everything. So I guess it looks like it's forever new. Is my faucet I bought. I knew it had that ring and it like a hose should clip directly on it. The person at the hardware store, they said, no, that's not what that's for. I said, you sure? I went ahead and bought it anyway, and sure enough, that is exactly what it's for. Pretty successful day for me. Just get my permanent light fixtures up now. Get those other 3. That's just a temporary. At least there's some light in here. And this thing is good to go. Good to go.